Supports Ukraine, who has been holding several fundraisers for these families and offering general support for them as they settle in the Miramichi region. And so tonight we have two members of the Miramichi Supports Ukraine group, Adam Hayward and Jerry Iwanis, who are here to give a presentation to council and to the community, because of course this is our televised meeting, to provide an update on their efforts and what is happening with families, Ukrainian families here in Miramichi. So Mr. Hayward, Mr. Iwanis, I'd invite you both up to the podium now, and to remind everybody, I believe they have a PowerPoint. They'll have 10 minutes to do their presentation, and then we'll have questions from members of council if there are any. So gentlemen, I'll turn it over to you, and welcome to council chambers.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Lorden. So as Mayor Lorden said, I'm Adam Hayward. I chose this picture of myself, the one on the left, because it is a little bit symbolic of my connection to Ukraine. My friend to the far left there, the blonde guy in the back, he is Russian, but his grandparents are Ukrainian. I met him in France at a French course I was at. I'd actually been to Kiev in 2013 as well, studying the Holodomor there. So those are a little bit of my connections to Ukraine. My friend there actually presented to students at James M. Hill during the outbreak of the invasion of Ukraine. And he has a really interesting story because he has cousins on both sides of the war. His grandmother is from Ukraine, but his parents settled in Moscow. So he was talking about kind of the human toll that it's been taking on his family, having members fighting on both sides of the conflict.
I am Jerry Iwanis. I'm a CFA, although my wife is definitely not. She grew up here. In fact, Councillor Ross Robinson is her second cousin. Everybody's related. And anyways, we moved here from Alberta just over 3 years ago, and this whole Miramichi Supports Ukraine thing started because Vern Goodfellow stopped at my house and said, there's this stuff going on in Ukraine. Can you tell me a little bit about it? And so we got to talking, and essentially the whole committee was born from that first conversation, although it's certainly not just from those two people. But anyways, I am a proud New Brunswicker now, a proud New Brunswicker for life, and if I ever needed any more reasons as to why I wanted to live in this province, watching what has happened in terms of support for Miramichi Supports Ukraine are all the reasons I need.
So just a little bit of a history where the committee started. As Jerry noted, him and Vernon had this idea. Vernon put it into action. And so right now the committee, consisted of 10 to 14 members, plus dozens of local volunteers. The original goal was to support 5 to 7 Ukrainian families. We figured we had the capacity to do that and do a great job of that. So that was kind of the goal. And we figured our support would be limited to transportation, helping them get settled, that sort of thing. But we're here today to give an update and acknowledge and celebrate what Miramichiers have done to help the people of Ukraine. So where are we now? Our original goal of 5 to 7 families, we have 14 to 15 now. The reason I have 14 to 15, because it changes every week. I seem to get an email every week that a new family is arriving. Over 50% of the adults have already found full-time employment. A family just arrived last week, consisting of a daughter, mother, father, grandfather, grandmother. Grandmother and grandfather both found work within 2 days. Father found work within a day. I think he started the next day after he arrived. Mom's taking care of the little girl for now until she starts school tomorrow, and then she'll be off to the working world as well. 38% of the Ukrainians are living independently. The rest are housed with host families, which has been absolutely fantastic. And the support that we are now giving involves finding housing, employment, hosting get-togethers, helping with all the paperwork. It's absolutely tremendous. And providing financial assistance to families, which we never expected, but the support from the city of Miramichi, the people of Miramichi, was overwhelming.
So, do you want me to play this first or talk about it first?
I don't know if we'll have time to play it here.
No, I really, yeah. So this is just a shot from a video, and I think you all know where that video was taken. Anyways, this fellow that I'm sitting there with, his name is Serhiy Sanyu. He is also a Ukrainian immigrant, but from several years ago. He lives in Dieppe. And he is absolutely a master videographer. He has done all sorts of videos that paint such a beautiful picture of life in the Maritimes. It's really quite something. So he asked me to, why don't we talk about Miramichi? So he came over here. We spent an afternoon. We went up and down the river on my boat. We spent some time at O'Donoghue's. We spent some time talking to a couple of different people, including Paul McGraw, so it was interesting that any of us got a word in edgewise. But nobody can sell the Miramichi like Paul can, right? So anyways, he did this video, and within the first week afterwards, there was like 12 emails saying we would really like to move to Miramichi. We saw the video, and so what started out as at 5 to 7 families has turned into a whole bunch more than that, because people get to talking, and once you see the video and you can see that how beautiful this place is when you go up and down the river, how do you not want to be here, right?
So just a few of the fundraisers that we've done, and once again to acknowledge and thank the people of Miramichi for coming out. The first major fundraiser, spearheaded by Susan Butler on June 12th, was a major fundraiser. Once again, we didn't really expect to support Ukrainians with any sort of funding at all, but we are able to now to purchase their bare necessities when they move to Miramichi. John Bosma organized Ukraine Day on October 23rd. John Bosma being an immigrant himself. Many of you know John Bosma. And it's also trickled down to our schools. That's students from Blackville School presenting a check to Miramichi Sports Ukraine committee members for the work they did with their Young Entrepreneurs Program. They donated 10% of their proceeds to our committee. And I'd also like to acknowledge and thank our host families. Some of them are pictured here. I took some off our Facebook profile, so they're widely shared. Greeting them at the airport, etc. But there's at least a half a dozen host families that have welcomed Ukrainians into their houses, any spare bedrooms they have, etc. Just a few stories, and I'll try to do this without crying. Those of you who know me when I present, I am a crier. This is a young student. I'll try not to give too much information, but Frankie McKibben was looking after this family. They're living in his cottage right now. Frankie McKibben put out on Facebook that this young man plays accordion. Anyone have a used accordion? I don't know why accordions are making me cry, but 3 hours later, 3 hours later, there was 4 accordions at the house. Yeah. That's Miramichi.
That's Miramichi.
4 accordions. Like, where do you dig up 4 accordions? But Miramichi did.
People are happy to get rid of them in some cases. I don't know.
Yeah. Jerry probably has a couple. Yeah. This is a fantastic graphic design done by one of our James M. Hill students, a Ukrainian. She did it for the fundraiser. Sold for, I think it was $80. So we had it framed, and that was an absolutely beautiful depiction.
My wife watched her do that on her phone with a stylus. It was really, she's such a skilled young lady. Yeah, so she had a stylus she made out of tin foil, a stick, and when she got to James and Hill, they found her an actual stylus, but she was doing paintings like this on her phone. Yeah. First Halloween. They don't do Halloween in Ukraine, so here's one of our young students heading out for Halloween. Similar story, put out to Facebook. She has cerebral palsy, so they were looking for a cart. Dozens of carts were lined up, and the father actually said, no, I'm going to fix the one we have. There's other families that they need these carts, and so those carts are going to other families that need them. So I thought that was pretty indicative of the people that we're bringing here. This young man, I took him on a tour of Blackville School. For those of you who know Ashley Hallahan, he was a great teacher at MVHS. He's now at Blackville. Has a great maker space where kids build things all day. And he said to me, this school is perfect for me because I'm going to be an engineer at SpaceX someday. And so he's now working at home, coding these robots all night. So just a few of those stories. We only had 10 minutes. I could go on all night, but I only have so many tears. So really appreciate, once again, the people of Miramichi for supporting the Ukrainians. Many of you have been out to our events. We appreciate you showing up and spreading the message. And once again, just thank you to Miramichi. I'll just reiterate that. As I said, The reasons that I ever wanted to move here in the first place are so clear in what has happened in the Miramichi Supports Ukraine project. We just couldn't be more grateful. So thank you to all of you for your attention.
Thank you, gentlemen. And before you go, I'll just ask if there are any questions or comments from members of council for you. Councillor King.
Thank you, Worship. Guys, I want to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. From Vernon to you fellas and the people of Miramichi, what they do to come together and develop and help these people. Thank you very much and continue great success. Thank you.
Appreciate that very, very much.
And anything I can do, give me a holler.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you. Councillor Summers.
That's probably the best thing I've seen in 6 years sitting in this chamber. So I just wanted to say thanks to both of you. That was awesome.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. To all of you. To all of you. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.